I loved it. I thought it was a really, really interesting movie. Even though knowing his whole story, it was humbling to see the whole thing unfold. And I think Andrew did a phenomenal job of editing it. It was just a really good watch, basically. Absolutely, yeah. I love the way that his resilience is just so inspiring, and he's always been a really great support and an influence, always telling me that, you have to do what you believe in. So he has been a big influence. He was, yeah. I mean, he used to get in fights over injustices even when he was a little kid. So he was, yeah. That's hard to say because his life is so packed. He's lived so much, he's been through so much that, I don't know if you can get all the details that are relevant into a movie, but this one tells the story quite eloquently, very nicely, yes. He's always been opinionated, his friends will tell you, and he just keeps on going, God bless. It's interesting to note how he's evolved. He was noting about his voice when he did the earlier shows. And yeah, I can see it in his voice, in his stance. He has grown to be a TV star, like an actual broadcaster. You don't realize it when you look at the older ones, like the earlier ones. You see how he has changed a bit. Just so proud that he's saying the message that nobody will say. He told me, I remember when he graduated from college, I asked him what you were going to do with your life, and he said, I'm going to change the world. And he's doing it, so. We all dote on him. And yeah, at first it must have been hard for my parents. Of course, going off the grid is not an easy thing to do, but I've always been very supportive. I've always found his courage, because I think it takes a lot of courage to be able to do that. Inspiring and, awe-inspiring, basically. He is what he was then. You don't really change. The person you are stays the same. It's just how you're educated and how you express yourself, how your opinions are formed that changes. So he probably would have been a man just like this if he had stayed in Turkey. It's just he's expressing himself differently now. My father was a mechanical engineer, but he was in real estate. I'm an art historian. My mom has a home textile business, so we're not involved with media. He's the only one, and there's nobody else who's involved in media. So it was kind of a surprise that he chose this path. But we're all very ambitious, and we're entrepreneurs. That's the common link with the whole family.